Welcome to the Tanzer Weaving Studio and Gallery. My name is Gretchen Romy Tanzer, and this is my weaving studio in Brewster. My work is mainly double weave, but I teach students how to weave also, and this is the space where it happens. I use cotton thread mainly for my woven wall pieces. I design with colored pencil and watercolor on graph paper to work out my designs. Once a design is created, then I have to pick the yarns out and wind a warp. And here you have a picture of the warp winding process. I use a warping mill. When the warp is finished being wound, then I take the warp off the mill. It's called chaining off the warp. After the warp is off the mill, then it has to be put on the loom. It's wound on the back warp beam and then threaded through the heddles. Every thread gets its own heddle, and it's a bit of a process, but that's all part of it. It can take anywhere from a few hours to several days to thread all the heddles for a project. After the threading is completed, then the warp is tied to the cloth apron rod, and you can start weaving. Here's its double layer structure, so I'm using 2 shuttles, one for each layer woven simultaneously. During the day, I'll weave anywhere from a few hours to all day. And during that time, I'll often be listening to audio books. For each new pass of the shuttle, I need to step on the treadles on particular order to achieve the desired effect. So every time I throw the shuttle, I step on a different treadle, and it raises a different set of shaft frames that hold a different set of threads. As I'm weaving, I often stop to check my pattern to see how I'm progressing, if I'm doing what I have intended to do. The weaving process uses yarn up at a rapid rate, and so I'm often having to refill my bobbins. Here I'm winding a bobbin, and so I choose my color, and I use either a paper bobbin or a plastic bobbin that then gets put into the boat shuttle. As I'm weaving, I often stop to measure my progress so that I know when I need to change colors, cut off an old thread, and replace it with a new color per my design. You can see here I've got a piece of paper with my design on it. and my box of bobbins that have been wound, and I'm checking which color I want to use. After a piece is finished, it is cut off the loom. Here is an image of one of my weaving students cutting a piece off of her loom, and it's always very dramatic. There we go, last thread. The piece is then rolled off the loom, and all the little ends need to be sewn in. Here I'm burying the little ends in between the two layers, and then I cut them off so that it doesn't have any little fuzzy bits. After the works are tidied up and the little bits are cut off, I block the piece, and then I stretch a linen canvas over a wooden frame and sew the finished piece to the stretched canvas with a curved upholstery needle. Thank you for letting me share my weaving with you. Um, Please contact me if you're interested in any of the work or want to learn how to weave. Thanks again. This is Gretchen Romy Tanzer saying goodbye.